music is gone. So, welcome back, guys, for another episode of the GhettoRig podcast. For those who don't know, my name is Eddie. This is my co-host Jay. Miguel should be here shortly. We're going ahead and started without him. I don't think he'll be here right away. So we just went ahead and got it done since we're already 20 minutes late. But yeah, so it just took me a little extra second too to basically get all the controls set up from this side and stuff like that. So what do you want to start with, Jay?
So want to start with I'm repping UFC
Well, we both are, yeah.
UFC Largo right now. Both are actually. Well, he's actually wearing the cool shirts. He's wearing the team shirts, right? I don't get to have that because I'm part of the team. But UFC Largo Vitality guys. Talk to Eddie if you want to go to UFC.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna go into the YouTube in a second and drop a link in there if anyone wants to basically get in contact with us and do it real easy off their phone. Let me do that now. Actually, I'll drop that in there.
Yeah.
Let me know what article you want to start.
In the meantime, if you want to go to Vitality, either contact me, Eddie, or just go directly onto their website, contact them. Super easy. But like, subscribe, all that good jazz. Share, that helps us immensely. Other than that, we have a bunch of articles. There's a bunch of things that are happening in the world. There's one article that I knew was in the back of my head. I wanted to talk about. I never brought it up just because I was kind of waiting to see if there's more development behind it. Can you go down a little bit? Just a little bit more.
Up or down?
Down.
This thing is being stupid.
Yeah, so just a little bit. Yeah, a little bit more, a little bit more. Right there, that right there, that one. Mm-hmm.
This one?
Yeah. So I was waiting a couple of days before we talk about this. This is about Kaká, who used to be Brazil's arguably the best player in the world. He played for he's from Brazil. Him and his wife were married, and he lived in the United States. So recently, his wife came out and said she wanted to divorce him, and the reasons, this article is a little bit misleading as far as says he was too perfect for me, right? I mean, that's true. That's what she said. But go down, Eddie, just a little bit. And I kind of want to read right there. What does she say, right? The Brazilian socialite explained that the 2007 Ballon d'Or winner gave her a wonderful family, but she wasn't happy because she felt something was missing. Kaká never betrayed me. He treated me well. He gave me wonderful family, but I was not happy. Sometimes something was missing. She was quoted on the Sun. The problem was he was too perfect for me. So this was her explanation on why she wanted a divorce, right? Now, what do you think, Eddie?
I think she don't want to tell the real reason. I think that sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Too perfect for me. He gave me wonderful family, and he was too perfect for me, but felt something was missing.
Yeah. So in 2015,
sounds like you got too much time on your hands to be thinking.
Yeah, Kaká spoke about this. In 2015, she wanted to go back and live in Brazil. And she said, I want to go back, live in Brazil, but I no longer want to be married. So, to me, it's crazy. Now, this is not necessarily indicative of everyone. Obviously, it's just an example. But you know how girls always say, I want a guy that's nice to me, does these things to me, this and that. Clearly, from what it looks like, Kaká was that guy.
I don't know. I think, like I said, she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Okay. That's it? That's all you got?
Yeah, this is a pretty shit one to start off with, Jay. I ain't gonna lie with you.
But that's all you got?
What else is there to talk about? This woman's saying she had a great marriage, but there was something missing. What was missing? She either doesn't want to say, or she has way too much time on her hands and just confused herself.
Mm-hmm. Do you think this is indicative of women in general? This is my question.
No. I think this is a very particular case when you're married to someone that's very rich and successful, and you have way too much time on your hands and not enough intellect.
No, but what I'm saying is, do you think it's indicative of girls when they say they want one thing, but they're actually their behaviors and things that they do are completely different?
That's a behavior of humans a lot of times.
No, is it?
Humans.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Like, what would be an example of it?
People who like to manipulate in general.
No, I think a lot of times girls say, well, I like flowers, but they don't say I like flowers from the guy that I like. Like a girl would not take flowers from just a random bum that's gonna approach them on the street. I mean, they might take it, but it doesn't mean they're gonna go home with them or have some sort of a relationship with them, right?
Okay.
Or like I
And
like teddy bears, like a very, or I like chocolate. Like so many guys, they bring the flowers, they bring the chocolates. Like, well, I did everything the society told me to do. I do things that women tell me to do, but yet I'm not lucky. You know what I mean?
um,
So it's what I'm trying to say. I guess.
that's a mad complicated situation, Jay, and I think you're like trying to like break it apart by too simple.
Well, because I guess what I'm trying to say, when women say something, it doesn't necessarily means that. Like you kind of have to follow their actions. Which you do the same with the guys, right? Like guy can say anything, they can love bomb you, but bottom line is he giving you the relationship? Is he giving you the commitment? Is he giving you all these things, right? Like if the guy does those things, that means they truly want to be with you. But a lot of times girls will say, "Well, I want this nice guy, this and that," but yet you look in their relationship and they could be with someone that's not necessarily none of those things, right? I want a guy that doesn't cheat on me, for example, and yet they were the guy that constantly cheats on her. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's within their nature to be attracted to a certain thing, but they, in their brain, are no, it's not necessarily good for them. What is necessarily good for them may be option B, but what they're attracted to is option A.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think that's the
I've seen many.
situation with her, where she married this perfect guy, that had the status, had everything possibly that guys would strive for, right? The status, the money, the recognition, being
I'm
one of the
still
best
going
in
back
your
to my.
field.
That takes me right back to my original answer.
Hmm.
Nothing different. She doesn't want to tell the truth, or if it is the truth, she just way overthought the situation.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know. Who
All right.
knows? I mean, you can't break down someone's divorce. I think in one article. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right. We'll go to another one. Go pick another one that you like. There's a bunch. There's some about the watchers and rounds. There's some. I didn't put any cars in there. Um, but there's this one right here, which was super cool, I thought. The universe may be dominated by particles that break causality and move faster than light. Than light, new paper suggests, right? With the nature of the universe, the most elusive components up for debate. Physicists have proposed a
Radical.
radical idea: invisible particles called tachyons, which break causality. I don't know how to pronounce that word, and move faster than light, may dominate the cosmos. Could the cosmos be dominated by particles that move faster than the speed of light? This model of the universe agrees surprisingly well with the observations a pair of physicists have discovered. In a new paper that they yet be peer reviewed, the physicists propose that our universe is dominated by tachyons, a hypothetical kind of a particle that always moves faster than light. Tachyons almost certainly don't exist going faster than light, uh, violates everything we know about the casual flow of time from past to future, but the
Have you seen
hypothetical
that?
particles are still
Have you seen that new
interesting
movie
to
with
physicists, blah, blah, blah.
Adam Sandler, and he's like stuck on the spaceship with the spider? Haven't seen that?
No.
It's on Netflix. It's pretty funny. Like he thinks he's going crazy. It's like this huge spider. So he's basically the premise of the movie
I've
is
seen previews of
it
that.
reminds me of this because of the whole thing of this picture we're seeing here. I'll show it here on the stream.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they go to sorry. These guys are on Earth, right?
Yeah.
Like normal society.
Mm-hmm.
And they see this big what looks like a cloud in the sky, but it's
Yeah.
like in space very far away. I think it was around one of the planets in our solar system. But it's so big and so bright we could see it from Earth. And so they send Adam Sandler out there to go take a sample of whatever this is and then come back. And it's like a 6 month journey or something like that.
How is he
And
taking a sample of a cloud?
it looks like a cloud, I'm saying.
Oh,
They
okay,
don't know
okay.
what it is, though. Let me see. I'm going to find that picture of that, too. So,
Okay.
let me show
Bro,
the
you
screen
saw the
this shit.
Dubai, how they were seeding the.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk
Well,
about that.
yeah, we'll talk about Dubai because that's on an agenda. But I'm getting mixed reports on that on Dubai thing. So
Let's see.
don't worry about it. Just tell the story. It's all good.
I just want to see if we're even doing this right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that should be working there.
All right, so we're gonna try to bring
Where
up
is
the.
this? Okay, there. So this is what I'm talking about. That's why it reminded me of it, and then I'll look up now for the movie. Oh shit, I don't have the keyboards out in the living room. Whatever. They go out to check the sample, and while he's out there, there's like a big ass space spider that boards his shit and is like messing with him and can speak
Oh,
his
it's an
language.
actual spider.
So yeah, because that shit slams him at one point. Because he goes to like touch it to check it out, and it says to him like it is not polite in my culture to like touch other people, And the spider was super cool. It was like trying to help him figure out his relationship and shit. Eventually ended up abandoning him and saying, "Oh, you like you basically build your own loneliness, so there's nothing I can do to help you." Because he was legit like trying to the spider would get into his brain and make him do like playbacks of his relationship where he was messing up. He left him.
Spider left him.
Yeah, but it was an interesting movie.
All right.
It was I still kind of half believe he was going crazy. That the spider was never there.
Yeah. So do you think this how now that's great that we discovered this, right? But to me it's like, okay, we discovered this and then what?
It's
It's
gonna
not
be
like
like
we
another
can
20 years and be like, oh, now we know how to use it or whatever it may
Yeah,
be.
but we've known speed of light for many, many years. We still can't use it.
Well, that's just harnessing. You're trying to harness the power of light and use it to go that speed. That's never gonna work, right?
Well, no, just propelling anything at that speed, they're saying it's just not gonna
Right.
work, right?
I remember they had a particle accelerator, whatever, that they used that they thought could maybe move an object at the speed of light,
Well,
theoretically, right?
they created a particle accelerator in, I think, in Switzerland. Switzerland, yeah, I think the Switzerland was the biggest one, right? Like it's this circle that would just launch a neutron, right, from one end, and then another neutron on the other end, and these two neutrons would collide with each other, and when they would collide, they would break apart. And when they would break apart, they would try to see what particles come out of it. So that's how they did, because when we go to school, we're taught, okay, there's a proton, neutron, and there's an electron around it, right? But they're saying, no, 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 there's more to it. Like these are actually built of other things as well. And then if you go into Wikipedia, there's like tens of different things that the neutron is built of. But we're given this basic, like that. Well, that's the atom. That's it. No,
Right.
not really. Like that's actually built of something too. Um, so I don't know, man. I don't know how. What was in chat?
My
M.
dad.
Hey Eddie. Um, so I'm not sure um how this is gonna help us in anything because we still can't travel at the speed of light. Like that's
Did
great we
you
discovered something else, but
did you see the new titanium citizen that they released? It's got a pretty cool looking dial.
yes, I did see
It's
them,
got
yeah.
that sub dial. It's automatic titanium.
Yeah, but aren't they like at $1,500 to $2,000 with the Miyota movement?
Let's see.
I think
I've
they're
seen some like around that price, yes, but they're titanium automatic divers. You can get them for like $500.
okay, okay. That's cool. That's cool. Citizen has a pretty good value proposition,
I
as
think
far as
so.
goes. I just don't like the idea of the Miyota movement because they're just known not to be that great, you know. Although there's a bunch of watches.
I think at that price point, you're playing a gamble on a movement that's not the best, regardless.
Well, yeah, but then again, I'm not doing it justice. Now, majority of Miata movements will like the chance of Miata movement to go bad is high, but it it's not as it's not as high, let's say, as well, it's higher than let's say Seiko's movements,
You think
right?
so?
Yeah, it's higher than Seiko's movements, but at the end of the day, I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? Like, because majority of those watches are gonna work really just fine.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
think
Now,
so.
is it gonna be able to withstand time? Let's just be honest. At a $500 watch, are you gonna really send your watch out for service? It's a $500 watch, bro. You're probably gonna end up
It
buying
all
a new one.
depends, like how much the service is on it.
Well, the movements themselves are about pretty cheap.
So it might just be, at that point be worth to just buy a new
Just buy a
movement
new one, or
or buy
even
the
buy a
move.
new movement.
Yeah, and have them swap that. It might be cheaper than getting the actual movement serviced.
Yeah, but then that's granted. You want to keep the case and a bracelet or whatever it is, however it is, like for whatever reason, right? You want to keep that. You're just changing the internals, the guts, right? But at the end of the day, I think at $500, you just go buy another watch. You
I
know what I
think I
mean?
think it depends, that's for sure, on how much is it to get it serviced.
Yeah, just quick look up. I think the last time I looked, it was like $250 to service a Seiko.
God damn, I'm trying to find this new article. Let me see. Actually, it's gonna be in my history.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. Don't worry about it right now, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
What else
Switch
do you
to
want to put up?
switch to the other watches that I had. They had the whole article about watches and wounds. Yeah, that one. So these are alternative watches, four watches and wounds alternatives
Wonders,
in
watches and wonders.
wonders alternatives in a wind up watch shop, right? So this wind up watch shop has its own little alternatives and kind of want to talk about, right? So it looks like the first one they're putting out is the Seiko GMT. I own this watch. It's pretty good, but as far as now I don't know if they're going against like a two-door GMT with this one. You know what I mean? But there's a clear difference between this one and a two-door when you hold it in your hand. Like the the strap feels cheaper, the
100%.
clasp feels cheaper. You know what I mean?
What are you talking about? A large price jump.
Yeah.
What is this,
Um.
Nomos?
Nomos. Oh, go back up. What did he say here on the subject line? No, no, go back up. Right there. Rolex GMT Master 2 and the Seiko 5 GMT. So I don't know if you can really compare the Seiko GMT to Rolex GMT at all. I mean, there's definitely takes after it because of the way the bezel is set up, like the more of an old school Rolex, right?
I
And
don't know. I think that is definitely an homage to it. Like, it's a comparable style
yeah,
watch,
and they do have a black and gray in this model specifically.
which is the one you have, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because yours doesn't have that little red and blue like Pepsi sub bezel.
No, it does not.
Yeah, yours is just the black and red,
Yes,
or black and gray with the black dial, right?
correct. Correct.
Nomos.
So they're saying that Nomos Tangente would be replaced by this watch. Um, Look up Nomos Tangente so we know what we're talking about.
Shit,
I
I don't have a
really
keyboard.
like Nomos Tangente. Where's this? I'll grab it.
Uh,
Where is it?
if you walk out on the thing under the TV
Under the
in
TV.
the
Yeah,
living
I'll
room, there's
grab
a
it.
white keyboard, the
Oh yeah,
wireless one.
guys. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna shut off the Insta feed. So guys, if you're on Insta, migrate over to YouTube. Um, you'll see a lot bigger and you'll see what we're talking about.
Oh, let me switch this so they can see it. Sorry, guys. Today we're having some little delays between doing certain things. Yeah, that one. Thank you, Jay.
All right, so Nomos. I really like Nomos as a brand. They make really good watches, and their straps are freaking amazing. I think they use um, I don't remember what's this leather specifically called, but it's a leather from an armpit of a horse, I guess, and that's like the finest leather you can possibly find. Yeah. So yeah, click just images will be fine. Um, yeah, I really like the Nomos. Yeah, click on that one. Click on the one over. Click the one over. The
Same
yeah,
watch.
that. No, it's not the same watch. See the date? I
Huh?
really like how they put the date on there. See the date with the two red dots?
Uh huh.
That income like if it's the third, one red dot will be on one side and the other red dot will be on the other side, and that red dot moves
Okay.
throughout the month. I really like that. It's really cool. It's very unique way of showing the date.
Yeah, it's just a date wheel on a with a red tab, and they put it on the dial.
Yeah, yeah, which is unique. No one has ever done that, you know. And that leather is super luxurious leather. Now go back to the watch that they're comparing. Now, I don't I don't see it, man. I don't see how could they.
I'm not a fan of this one. I like the Nomos, but
Yeah. And this watch is at, almost $600, $700, right?
which the Nomos isn't that expensive, anyways.
Yes. Yes.
So the new 1908 that they came out with sub dial with Guilloche, they're comparing this to a Louis Erard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like this.
Yeah.
Looks nice.
Yeah.
Bunch of different textures on the dial,
Mm-hmm.
which is interesting. But for the price point, I don't know how much. So it looks like the new Rolex is about 30,000, and this is doesn't say.
3,000 pounds. Go down.
That's a
Right
different
there.
watch.
Oh, that's a different watch. No, it's the same one, bro.
No, dog, that's for this watch.
No, the little one. Up, the little one. See.
Oh, okay, I see what you're talking about.
So at $3,000, I would suggest buying a Nomos.
But that's not the comparable watch.
I know, but I think Nomos is much better value
Well, when you
proposition than
start
that.
not looking at comparable watches, Jay, there's a bunch of shit you can buy.
No, well, yeah, I guess.
So then we have this
Raymond Weil, Millissime, and Tissot Heritage. Yeah. If you're gonna buy a Raymond Weil, I would say just buy a Tissot. I think this is a
and
much
the
better watch.
heritage you can get with cost version. So there's some of these heritages that come cost certified. Actually, this is one of them.
Yeah.
So,
So
you're getting a cost certified movement in something that costs $1,000.
yeah, and if you're gonna buy, if your choices are between Raymond Weil and this, I say get this. You know, I think it's a better watch, but
Okay, that's it for that one.
there's another one. There's another one in it. Yeah, that right there. And these were basically all the dive watches that were introduced. Watches and wounds. That's the new two-door black.
monochrome Tudor.
Mm-hmm.
Doxa got some new those
Yeah, Doxa got new
old-fashioned
ones.
subs.
I never could get into Doxa. It looks like they're trying to get that Seiko, that turtle shell.
Well, this is Doxa's original look already.
Yeah.
This is not like them trying to copy anyone. This is them going to their vintage shit, really.
And I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of Doxas. I've looked at a bunch of them. I can never get around.
This fucking piece is
Huh?
this thing, man. Like
This is huge, bro. It's a thick boy.
It's
It's
a
big.
big ass watch,
It's
right?
very big.
And to put it in a precious metal, I don't understand. It's a straight up tool watch. You
Yeah.
know, like this thing was made to break the record of going down as deep as possible.
Yeah, this watch, the most this watch is gonna see is probably gonna be an Excel spreadsheet. That's the most excitement this watch is gonna see, really, at the end of the day. But
For those who don't know, this is the new Deep Sea Dweller, in 18 karat gold,
mhm.
which is just and
Makes no sense. It makes no sense. Sin's been making watches for a minute now.
Oh, that's a cool case back, man.
Yeah, it does look cool. It's
That's
a
a cool-
German brand.
Yeah, that's interesting. It looks pretty cool from the back. Interesting case design.
It looks like it's more of it says it's a diver,
Oh,
right?
it definitely is a diver. Yeah. Interesting.
It
It
very
looks like it has
interesting
the
case
GMT as
too.
well.
Very interesting case too.
Too big, if you ask me. and
Yeah, they're
almost
pretty big.
unwearable,
Yeah.
right? But I guess a lot of those dive watches are pretty big just to be readable. Taking a look at that new Tudor monochrome again.
I honestly think this is probably one of the best dive watches they came up with
This
in
one?
watches and wound. Yeah.
I like the burgundy dial, the burgundy bezel that they did a little while ago.
The
a lot
red one?
better. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, no. What I'm saying is this. Don't look at the color itself. Like just the
Oh,
line,
the black blaze. It's
the
in general.
line. Yeah,
Yeah.
the line itself. The more I look at them, the more I like them.
I just wish they had a date.
Yes, the date ones are like 41 millimeter and they're thicker. They do have them, but they're 41 millimeter.
Another
Or 42
Zenith.
and
It
thicker.
looks like this is a Defy. Yeah, this is a Defy Extreme Diver. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Something different out of their very long known sports line of the Defy. I actually like it.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good proposition. For a dive watch,
I like it. It looks interesting.
and you're gonna get the quality of
Oh, for
Zenith.
sure.
42.5. That's a little bit on a bigger side, which is fine. But it's a 600-meter
It is
certified.
an integrated bracelet, so these watches tend to wear bigger
Mm-hmm.
because of the bracelet tapering and stuff.
eleven
Oh,
thousand
grade
hours.
5 titanium. That's interesting.
Now, you know what I was surprised by? Remember when we went to the um Omega shop
Mm-hmm.
and we looked at those Omegas, the speedies that had the date?
Uh-huh.
How thick they were, bro. They were thick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was really surprised by that because I was like, I mean, that's a lot of watch.
I think that's something that for me as a someone who's into watches has settled really hard is I want thin watches.
Yeah.
I want things that aren't gonna bother me on my hand too much. Like I'm and the funny part is I know that until I start spending a lot of money, I'm probably not gonna get anything much better than this. Because at 10 and a half, I think, or 11, whatever it is, you're not gonna get anything at
No,
the price
within a
point that
price
I can
point,
look
no.
at for the at this thin, you know.
Yeah. Go down a bit. Yeah, that one. Click on that very first article. So I thought this is really cool, right? Two life forms merge into in once in a billion years evolutionary event. So they found two of these microscopic organisms, two microscopic life forms that became one, right? And the reason I think this is pretty interesting is this is kind of like a proof how mitochondria became part of our cells, right? Because mitochondria, they're saying that it used to be an organism by itself, and then it became a symbiotic relationship where they lived together, and then eventually it became part of it where they cannot exist without each other. And mitochondria is our powerhouse, right? Like that's what produces energy. So I think this is pretty cool. And unfortunately, these are the things that more and more push people towards believing in secularism, like that religion doesn't exist and God didn't create us.
Right.
However, however, I've listened to some debates of scientists actually going at it, and there's something about lysine, like one of the amino acids building blocks. Nothing Lysine doesn't combine with anything without a catalyst. Like something has to be present in there. If you just put lysine in the water and with another amino acid building block, they don't combine with each other. And what they're saying is like this Big Bang or like the lightning strike would not cause that to happen because
Right.
they've tried emulating that and it just doesn't happen. It doesn't bind. So we don't know how it binds. So with that being said, if it's one of the major building blocks, is it possible that we created first an RNA that became a DNA and then later became something else and came out crawling out of the water?
It's that question of it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg?
No, because they know what the egg is, but they don't know what animal it came from.
Okay.
Does that make
The
sense?
question gets a little more complicated.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, we know this is an egg, but we don't know what animal this is gonna hatch into.
Okay. That's a little more that's a little more complicated than the
Yeah.
chicken and the egg question,
Yeah,
huh?
a little bit more complicated than chicken and egg. And the suggestion is, some people are saying, well, we don't know the answer, but we are here. So something happened. So that yet to be discovered. You know what I mean? That something happened there, right? So I don't know, man. I thought this was pretty interesting. And all those people that don't believe in evolution, here you go. Clear cut proof of that this is happening in front of our eyes. You know what I mean? So could that have happened? Because, Earth is pretty old. Like, we have a lot of years. A bunch of things could have gone one way or another way, and then
Well, that's for sure.
more intelligent species would have taken over, right? And we as humans are eventually going to evolve. Like if granted we don't kill the planet and go to Mars or do something else, in another 100 to 300,000 years or 500,000 years, you're going to see us looking like not us. We're going to look something completely different.
You think completely different?
Completely
I don't
different.
think you're completely different that fast.
No, I mean completely different, not in a sense that we're gonna start flying or anything, look like a damn bird. But what I'm saying is we're still gonna have that humanoid shape, but
Right.
we're not gonna look
You think facial
anything.
structure, height,
Facial structure,
everything?
height, the bone density, the skin, all of that's gonna change.
Sorry, I'm trying to just find something I had for us, but I can't seem to find it. I know I saved something somewhere,
Yeah.
but I can't find it.
All right. So go to the next one. So apparently,
Apparently,
so we can talk either stupid tango or we can go to politics.
why does this mouse do this?
I don't know. So this one I thought was interesting because Tesla laid off a bunch of people. Tesla has begun sending out severances into the laid off workers. Here's what they, here's how much they're getting. So basically, Tesla laid off a bunch of people, and now they're paying them severance packages. When you lay somebody off, you pay them X amount of money, right? They're cutting more than 10% of the company's workforce, which last reports are saying 15%, right? Due to EV slowdown.
Really?
Yeah. But I think here's what's going on. With this war with Iran, with Israel, they're projecting if this happens, because Iran is a big supplier of oil. The because what happened was when Biden took office, they were kind of against the whole thing, but he ended up opening the opening the reserves of oil that we had, and that's why the gas prices were so low. But we're already depleting them, so that's why gas prices are high. So if this happens, we could see $8 a gallon, like in places like California, because they're talking about 140, $130, $140 a barrel. But that is directly going to impact everything else. Like plastics are made of oil. Like your food gets delivered by oil. So everything is gonna skyrocket in price. So
Speaking of Tesla, I remember when we went to the international mall. Man, those gaps were bad.
bad.
I, I hope to not see all those Cybertrucks out there like that.
No, and I think it said founders on it. I don't know if you saw that on the bottom
I mean,
on the
we've
side.
already heard of cases where people are going out there and taking pictures of some pretty bad gaps. So, but I hope it's what we were saying. There's only like a certain amount of Teslas that came out of the factory like that or whatever. I think it was
No,
years
what I'm
old. Was
saying is
this?
it said founders on that Tesla on that truck, right? I think this was just like a not working version of a Tesla truck that was presented to Tesla. I
No, I
mean
don't
to
think
the
so.
to
I
the
think
thing.
that's a working car.
But you no, what I'm saying is a very first iteration of it specifically to demonstrate. I think
Okay.
the ones that are coming out of the factory now they might have those issues, which are gonna get hammered out down the road. Um, I'm not a strong believer in buying a car the first year it comes out, not even the second year. It's better to buy the third year or fourth year of
Right.
the
The
cars.
longest you can wait usually is
Yeah,
the best.
the best. Yeah. So
Sorry.
we're just gonna have to see. So go down. Let's see what they paid them off on this. As far as as far as this goes. So 10% was laid off. The email which were sent to the workers' personal email accounts notified staff they had been terminated effective immediately. The workers were also cut out Tesla's internal systems around the same time. Several former workers said. Okay, keep going down. Um, June 14th, so it's the date. Keep going down. Same number of weeks paid out. Okay, this is the same. Carmaker appears to be offering workers 2 months of severance, meaning the workers are set to be paid through June 14th, as five former workers told BI, the Business Insider. The severance package didn't appear to be weighted based on the length of time workers had been with Tesla, as workers with anywhere from a few months to several years of experience at Tesla received the same number of weeks paid out. The five sources told BI, Business Insider, right? So
What do you
basically,
think
there's
about that? Do you think that the people that have been working longer should deserve a better severance package?
I don't know. Depends on a hierarchy. Depends how important their job was.
Right. And do you think that the 10% of these people ranged pretty as it comes to the hierarchy, or do you think it was a specific area of people that they got rid of?
I think they just cut from the majority, who was probably going to be like things like technicians, salespeople, like people that are putting these cars together.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got rid of those people. But my point was why I talked about oil. The reason I talked about oil is yeah, even though they laid off people, even though the demand for electric cars is dwindling, but if the gas prices do go up, because that kind of happened to us in 2013 when the prices were pretty high, or 2008, between 2008 and 13 when prices were high, people were downgrading. They're buying smaller cars like those Ford Fiestas and shit like that. I think now when you go in and the Ford Fiesta is, you know, 25, $30,000, someone might say, well, shit, for $40,000 I can get a Tesla and is more efficient on gas
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. So that might actually boost EV sales.
What does the average American spend on gas a year? Do you know?
I don't know, but I can tell you, if I look at my app, I can tell you that thus far, here, hold on, let me pull it up so I'm not lying.
You already turned off the Instagram, didn't you?
Yeah.
You know where you leave your phone there.
So I'm gonna go on a Tesla app right now and give you live data. This is having the car for 2 years now almost, right? This November will be 2 years. So I'm gonna go into Tesla app and I'm gonna go into the charging section of the Tesla app and charging status. Okay, cool. So month, as far as the month goes, right? This month I've spent $53 on electricity, right? Which is equivalent to $156 in gas, right? Now, if I go to a year, total spent for the entire year is $600, which would have been 2,000.
Okay,
And this includes a couple of times supercharging, which I paid a little bit more because I use the superchargers.
got you. So it tracks your home charging, it tracks your charging when you're out and about, all that stuff.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And let's say you never use a supercharger, it would have been a little bit less than that because you have to pay for those.
Yeah. So 597. So it tracks you. You're looking at about what, given it's a hot and cold. Wintertime you use a little bit less because in Florida it's prime. The batteries don't get hot as much. In summertime, but it averages out to about
But
what,
the
forty
cold the
dollars a
cold
month.
drains batteries. Well, I guess maybe it doesn't get cold enough here for
Equivalent,
that.
yeah. So $40 a month. That's what I've used, and this guys includes me driving the car at least twice.
So a week to Tampa, right?
1 hour one way and 1 hour back.
Yeah.
So I'm putting miles on this car, right? Twice. So that's at least, at the very least, without using the car for anything else, that's at least 4 hours of straight driving. 4 hours of straight driving, that's a full gas tank, right? And that's going to Miami.
What's the range on your Tesla?
It's 250 miles per hour. I mean, 250 miles total.
15?
250.
50.
250. But it also depends on my foot, right? Like
Right.
how hard I'm pushing
Like
on
any
it.
car. That's in
Like any car.
Yeah.
I would say definitely, like, you can see the gas savings on it, definitely. Um, Another thing is I have what I'm going off of this thing, and also remember we also had a electricity hike about 6-7 months ago.
Right.
So I'm actually paying more for the electricity than I did before. So, you know what I mean?
So it says
So to give you an idea, so just to answer your question back, do I think it's fair? In a sense, you would think, like, if I was thinking emotionally, no. But in the whole company sense, like, you're just a cog in a wheel. Like, your job being there for longer doesn't replace the fact that this was your job. Like, if you were in that job for longer and then you progressed and higher up in the positions
I
and
get what
they
you're saying.
fired you.
I don't know. I don't have the question. I don't have the answer for that either. To be
But
honest with
see,
you.
the thing is, they're paying them 2 months worth according to whatever they were getting paid. They're just not giving them extra months. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right. Or okay. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
So they're not getting all the same pay. So they are getting paid accordingly. But yeah. So yeah. So Poppy Trump done fucked up again. Gets dragged in a courtroom and they read bad tweets about him. He kind of like sits there all unhappy and shit, and then goes out the courtroom and starts blasting everyone to the interviewers. It's like, bro, like, people write bunch of shit about you on the internet. They write good stuff and bad stuff. So if you can get this fucking emotional about it, you're gonna go lash out because somebody said
I think
something
it's the
bad about
setting.
you, huh?
I think it's the setting in which they're doing it in. that's probably bothering him the most because he's gonna see it all regardless and hear about it. You know.
Yeah. So this one says that he gets dragged through mud again during jury selection at Donald Trump's hush money trial on Thursday. A potential juror was excused for making an app comparison. The former president reminded him of former Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi. The man, who is originally from Italy, said it would be hard to be fair and impartial because of the similarities. So go down a little bit more. Um, Berlusconi and Trump do have some things in common. Both were business professionals who went on to be elected to political office, and both faced and continue to face criticism for unethical business practices, both in and out of the office. Right. So he didn't like the idea that he was compared to Berlusconi. I think I think what happened here, this juror was just like, man, I don't want to be on this trial. I'm gonna say just some wild shit, so I sound biased, so they fucking excuse me.
You think so?
I think that's exactly what happened. Cause,
He's trying to get out of there.
cause, for example, I would never do this. If I was ever called for jury duty, I would go in there and try to be as non-biased as possible. I would never do this. But if I didn't want to be part of the jury duty, I would find out what the case is about, who it is, and what it is, and would just say some outlandish shit for one side or the other side
Yeah.
for me to get kicked off the jury. That's what I would have done if I
Yeah.
didn't want to go. But again, since I'm a citizen of the United States and I took the oath and I'm grateful the country gave me the citizenship, I would never do that. I would go in there as non-biased as possible, clear mind, never read anything.
You
And
think you think you'd make a good jury person?
do I think I make a good jury person? It depends what it would have been, obviously, right? Like there are things that I'm biased about, there are things I'm delusional about. I'm not an idiot. Like if I would have found something that it's like something that I'm emotionally feel strong about, then I would say, hey, listen, my judgment is clearly not
Clouded.
is clouded because I feel very emotionally strong about this. I would not be able to give you a non-biased.
So in divorce situations.
In divorce situations, I would still look at
I know that's not where juries even
yeah.
matter, right? But
But in
I'm just
divorce
saying we're just
situations, I would
talking
still,
bullshit.
I would still look into say, so things such as, okay, was this man abusive? For example, if he was abusive, then yeah, she has all the rights to divorce him, right? But I also would look if this man was perfect thing that you possibly wanted and you divorce, hence Kaka's situation. I don't know. I think in a divorce situation, I could be very non-biased.
Yeah.
It depends because you should absolutely be able to get a divorce if you're getting fucking if your head's getting going through the drywall. I don't think this is a good thing. You know what I
Right.
mean? Either one. If the man's head is going through the drywall, is not a good thing. If the woman's head is going through the drywall, is not a good thing. But if it's like, oh well, I found another one. I no longer want to be with my wife because I think I fell out of love. Yeah, motherfucker, pay that alimony. You know what I mean? Especially if your wife like took care of your children and didn't go to school and couldn't earn anything. You know what I mean? It's your fault for not picking a wife that's gonna give you the oomph that you were looking for. You know what I'm saying? But if the wife comes in, oh, I just woke up one day and I decided I don't want to be in a relationship anymore. Well, I don't know how that works. You know what I mean?
So, what do you think of Paulo Costa and Robert Whitaker? Who do you got?
Paulo Costa and Whitaker. Isn't Whitaker fighting Kazmat?
All right, that's who just fought. Right. No, Paulo Costa. What was it? Strickland.
Strickland. Paulo Costa and Strickland.
Yes.
I think Strickland's gonna dominate. No, not
Yeah.
dominate, but I think he's gonna piece him apart.
You think so?
I think so.
And what if Costa goes for the wrestling? You think he would be able to take him down?
Costa tried to go wrestling without Adesanya.
Yeah, but then we've never seen Strickland. They say he has that great defense and has decent wrestling, but we don't see it very often. Most people just strike with him.
Yeah, because I think they can't get close to him to go to that. You know what I mean? He's very good with his hands and his
Yeah.
feet. So I don't know how Costa is gonna be able to close the gap.
And then the other one,
Kazmat versus Whitaker.
yeah,
I'm really waiting for this fight because I really like Whitaker. I would like Whitaker to win.
yeah,
I think how he represents himself is very like good. But I also understand Kazmat sells tickets with his outlandish bullshit that he says and does.
yeah.
So I would want Whitaker to win.
They're
Kazmat, I
saying
think is
that's
the
gonna be a title contender shot.
yeah. I think Kazmat is a better wrestler than Whitaker. I think Whitaker might be a better striker than Kazmat.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
okay, yeah.
So I would want to see. I would want to see Whitaker keep him away at a distance, maybe like a lot
That's
of
gonna
leg
be
kicks
hard.
and
Yeah.
things like that. But Cosmot is good at catching that leg, that single leg. You know what I mean? So,
Hmm.
and if he catches the single leg, like it's game over.
Very likely for a takedown.
Yeah,
And then, do you think McGregor will come back and be the Mac again, or is he gonna fumble under this pressure?
I don't think he's gonna come back and be the Mac again. Is he gonna earn like? Is there money to be made because of his name?
And do you
100%.
think he'll be able to beat Chandler?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
think so?
I think a 3-year-old can beat a Chandler at this point. He's good at wrestling. He's very good. Like one thing that he's really, really good at is running his mouth, trying to be Connor, but he's not. The next thing he's good at is wrestling, but that's all he has. He doesn't have the gas tank. He doesn't have the chin. He doesn't have the skills to be a good striker at that level. Now, obviously, he would whoop 99.999% of the fucking population
Right.
into a pulp, but
Yeah.
at that level, I think Connor is much better with his striking game than he is a wrestler. Like again, it's gonna be closing of the distance, and I don't think Chandler is even close to being Khabib.
And Dustin
Khabib almost got taken out by Connor. He got punched in the good thing is he's got that chin on him that he fucking didn't fold him.
and then Dustin and Makachev.
Um, I think Makachev's got that.
You think so?
Yeah, I think Makachev's got that, and that's not because I'm favoring Makachev. I think Makachev fights are pretty fucking boring. They're very boring
You think
fights.
so?
Yeah,
Too
I-
much wrestling.
not too much wrestling. Even the wrestling is not sexy. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like it's just very bland. Like it's like a white girl chicken, very bland. You know what I mean?
I
So
had a chicken Philly cheese, like a chicken Philly,
uh-huh.
the other day. It was the worst decision ever.
Yeah,
made.
chicken Phillies are the worst. Like, yeah, no,
They'll do it.
no.
They'll do it.
The best Philly I've ever had, and we'll come back to Makacha. The best Philly I've ever had was in Philadelphia, and I went and researched because it's two restaurants that are like they're across from each other,
Yeah.
and these are the battling restaurants, right? So I went to both. I've tasted them; they were pretty good. But then I found another one that was rated even better. And when I went there, they had the chopped meat and they had the pork. And I asked them, which one should I get? And they said, get the pork. Pork is our number one.
Okay.
I said, all right, let me get the pork. Bro, one of the best hoagie meat sandwiches I've ever had in my entire life.
Nice.
Best Philly sandwiches. I don't know if you can call it traditional Philly because it's not beef,
Yeah. Right.
but it was one of the best iterations of a Philly sandwich I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
Yeah. But chicken, anytime I've gotten a chicken is like fucking Makache fights. They're just not good. But I think the reason I say that because I do value what Gordito has to say. What's his name? DC has to say, right? Delian Cormier has to say. And he kept saying over and over again, a bunch of people besides him have said it, that he's a much better wrestler than Khabib is, and I think he's a much better striker than Khabib is.
Right.
So he's just a little bit better than Khabib, and Khabib dominated that weight class with all of those guys.
Yeah.
I would want to
see-
see I would want to see a fight. I would want to see would be Conor in his prime with Makhachev in his like that's the fight I would want to see.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that a fight like that would still go in the favor of Makachev, because of the wrestling.
Yeah.
Now, if Makachev says, "I'm gonna just strike with Prime Connor," no, that's not gonna happen. He's got to implement that Dagestani.
He has
wrestling. He would have to,
Mhm.
and I think he would win with that.
I mean, you saw Oliveira as a black belt, a good black belt at that, bro. I mean, he dominated Oliveira.
How would you think of not Islam, but Arman in Oliveira's fight?
Arman is a good fighter. He got lucky 3 fucking times. He better
Yeah.
pray to all the gods he believes in.
He didn't go to sleep on all those submission
Yeah.
attempts.
Yeah, but it's a different mentality, right? Like there's
Yeah.
a bunch of guys that will like in the fight before the guy tapped. Arman was like, either I'm going to
I'm
sleep, I'm
really
not tapping.
surprised on that the last 30 seconds when he had him in that Darce,
Yeah, but
right?
it was a face, it was a belly
I
down.
know it was belly down, but the way he went from turtle to being flat and having his legs extended, like sprawled out, I was really surprised they didn't call it because
Well,
it looked like he was asleep for a second.
they wouldn't because he kept raising that thumb.
No, at one point he was like flat out on
Yeah,
his stomach and everything.
in the beginning, but then after that he was raising. Like you don't
I
just
know it
come
was
back
after.
from it
I know it was after. You kind of do.
when
Remember
they
you
let it
saw the
go.
fight. Yan Xiaonan. The fights. The literally the fight. 2 fights after that, Yan Xiaonan was out. Dog. She was out
She was out when the bell
when the
rang.
bell rang, and she got up. She like had a little stumble, but she got up.
Yeah, and
You do.
same
You
thing.
can just come back sometimes.
No, the same thing happened to him. But the reason she got up is because that pressure was let go.
Right. Right.
He
I
was
get what you're
applying
saying.
pressure. He would not be able to put the thumbs up because if he was out,
I don't know.
that thumb
I
wouldn't go.
apparently Charles thought he was asleep.
Well, Charles could think a lot of things,
That's
but
why he said that's why he put his tongue out and shit.
yeah,
Yeah, you remember
Charles could
that?
have thought a bunch of things. After that thumb came out, he was putting the tongue out. So
I
I
never
don't know.
saw the thumb go up. I never saw
Yeah,
that.
because the what's his name? Rogan commented on this. He's putting thumbs up. He's putting thumbs up.
Okay.
Yeah, but like you could because Arman fought Makhachev.
That was actually his UFC debut.
Debuted. He fought Makhachev on I think it was a short notice too, right?
I'm not sure.
And he did pretty well with Makhachev.
Yeah, it was a competitive fight.
Yeah, but Makhachev pieced Oliveira apart with his wrestling.
With specifically, yeah, wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah, pieced him
Not
apart.
not pieced him apart. Well, he knocked him down and Armin triangled him real quick because usually Oliveira's known for going to his back and trying to basically be a jiu-jitsu guy and pull guard.
Yeah.
Right. And Islam jumped on him. And
Yeah.
he had just been rocked.
Which Arman was doing the same thing. He was jumping on him, but
Yeah.
he couldn't
Oh no,
get
he
it.
couldn't progress.
He couldn't
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, Oliveira would just wrap him up in guard
Yeah.
and start looking for stuff, and the moment one guy would start to progress, the other one was too good, back and forth. It was a weird fight.
I think Arman is good, but I think he's lacking a little bit in his jiu-jitsu game. He's got the wrestling down. He's got the striking sort of down.
I think he has a really high level defensive game, and that's why
Yeah.
he's really able to fend off a lot of things and break people down.
Hmm.
And his wrestling is really good. But
He's-
is he a superstar finisher like Charles and Dustin and all these guys? I don't think so.
No, that's what I'm saying. So striking, as far as the striking goes, I think he's striking and what's his name? Makhachev striking are pretty close. Makhachev might be a little bit better than
I think
Arman.
Makachev is better.
Yeah. As far as the wrestling goes, I
Makhachev has
don't
developed
know
in the
if
striking.
they were to wrestle. I don't know who would win. I think they both have really good wrestling.
Really good wrestling. Okay. I'm
But
not sure. I haven't watched
BJJ, I
enough.
think Makhachev has better BJJ than Arman does.
Yeah.
And this is a mixed martial art. You got to mix them all together.
Right.
Like by throwing axe kicks, no matter how cool they look.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. You see his leg, like the
the angle. Yeah.
the angle he had.
It was a straight up split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's gonna be an interesting. I mean, does he belong in that weight category?
Yeah.
100%. But
Big
can
dude.
Max Holloway be in that weight category too?
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah. Especially after what he did on fucking that night, man.
Yeah.
I don't think you keep saying that you think Justin might have been a little off. I don't think so.
Well, no, Justin was off because he got his nose broken.
There you
Within
go.
the
But that's
first,
that's by
the first
him.
round.
That's by Max. Max
Yeah,
caused
and
that.
Max specifically trained for that.
Right. Yes, he did train because he knew he was gonna be ducking. I mean, he didn't train to break his nose, but he did train that
And he's
kick.
been known to go pick the opponent that's gonna fight in a UFC game and try different combinations,
they
see if
asked
it
him.
works.
They asked him that. Oh, have you been playing UFC 5 to prep and learn new combinations? He said no. I actually haven't played that game. I've been playing. Like he said, he plays first person shooters, which is funny because I've seen him streaming before. He plays Apex
Yeah.
Legends usually. But yeah, he doesn't do that anymore.
He doesn't?
No. He
Huh.
said it in the
I don't
press
know
conference.
why. I wonder why.
I don't know. I think that was a joke. I think that was a straight up joke.
But you don't think that the computer would try to match the movement
The
of the
computer,
fighters?
the computer does try and match the movement of the fighters, but the computer's movement is very linear,
Yeah.
right? It's a very linear thing. It's not.
But you don't think like trying those combos and then trying to see if they're gonna work in an actual spar with someone that's trying to fake it?
Well, what's cool is with you can instantly think of something in your mind and try it in the game and see the movements of how it would go through, slip through guards and stuff like that. Which I guess is what he was using it for, but I don't know.
I
It
just
sounds
thought
like
it
a
was.
little gimmicky
I
thing
just
to me.
thought. I just
I
thought it was
still
pretty
don't
cool. Like
100% believe it.
even if it doesn't work, I just thought it's like that's thinking outside the fucking box.
Well, that's for
You
sure.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's what makes good fighters, like thinking outside the box, right? Like it's not just going out there and saying women belong in a kitchen like Strickland does, and telling Nina to shut up. She's there for her.
Deshaun Strickland. I love seeing that photo of him going around with the do rag and the Hennessy in his hand.
Deshaun
Deshaun Strickland.
Strickland.
That shit's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that fight's gonna be interesting with Paulo Costa.
And so DC released this thing saying he thought that Herb Dean should have stepped in and stopped Pereira and Jamal Hill when the nut shot happened. That he should have done a full separation of the fighters, and regardless of what Pereira said. What do
Why?
you think about that? Because he says that he thinks it threw Jamal off.
No.
I call bullshit too because I've watched the replay many times.
Did it
Many
throw
times.
Jamal off? Yes, but it is the fighters. Like fighters should say, no, I don't want you to stop it.
Right. Exactly. The one who got hit in the nuts said, no, don't stop it. So what else are
Exactly.
you going to do? And right when it happened, they both like went flat footed. He said no to Herb Dean. Herb Dean backed off. They tapped hands. A few more steps went by and then it happened. It wasn't like, I mean, it was pretty fucking quick, but it wasn't like a Herb stop and then boom.
And
You
I
know?
saw a reel. Somebody put a reel together of Alex Pereira specifically practicing those moves that he, like even those leg kicks, even those
I saw that.
punches.
Yeah, the breakdown of everything. He was,
And he was like, this was
practicing
not
those.
like a lot of people don't realize you just don't get in the ring and hopefully you're gonna do this combo. No, like he prepared for that guy.
The same thing with Max in the spinning kick. Yeah.
Yeah, he prepared. Like, yeah, that's how he got Gagey because that's how he
Yeah.
broke his nose because he specifically prepared for that because he saw that Gagey ducks. So the
Yeah.
team was working on that ducking to kick him in the face.
Exactly. Yeah, which actually he did it like 3 or 4 times
Yeah,
in the fight
and
successfully.
Gagey took them all
Yeah.
except for one that broke the nose. And after broken nose and not being able to breathe, he still was able to like go the distance
He knocked
basically.
Max down once.
Yeah,
After that, which I don't know. I think that fight will go down in the history books as one of the fucking nastiest knockouts ever. And I think Max can go into 155 and do well.
yeah.
You know, successfully just beat the BMF that just knocked out Dustin Poirier, who's about to literally fight for the title. So
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. I think Dana's finally getting really good fighters in, and he's putting these really good matches together. And I think they open. And
in the presentation of the UFC 300 and them talking about the history and stuff, he was talking about how basically when he first started off and they progressively wanted to start doing more and more fights a year, a lot of people were telling them, no, you can't do so many fights a year. You can't do this many pay-per-view fights a year.
Yeah.
People are going to get disinterested. You don't have enough fighters and all this stuff. Man, he's doing a bunch of pay-per-view fights a year.
And it's working.
At least once a month, even sometimes twice a month. It's doing badass.
What did you think about that Brazilian guy and his speech? I forget his name.
Renato Moicano?
Yeah, Moicano.
Yeah, Money Moicano. I saw something about him preaching some stuff. Read some books. I think a book from Austria, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I think that shit was funny, and I think he wants to fight Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah, but what do you think about his rant itself?
I don't know. I wasn't listening to it too much. The guy's English is pretty fucking bad. It's pretty
Yeah.
broke. It's pretty broke.
I like the whole idea is because I don't know if it's I don't know if it's a doesn't look like it's an act.
No, I don't think so.
If it's not an act, I like the idea that he's trying to speak English. Like he wants to be in this
Yes.
country. He's trying to fucking speak English, no matter how fucking broken
That's
it is.
true.
He's going out there and saying things,
Yeah, that's true. That's actually something to point out.
That's what I like about it.
Like I think Pereira, he needs to get on that learning English.
Well, what is he? How does he say it? Huh in English?
Well, he'll still say it, and he's still gonna say chama, but he needs to get on that learning English, dog. Especially if he's gonna continue to be like title reigning.
Well, that
You know,
motherfucker only
to build
says
up his
3
hype.
words in a 3-hour conversation, even in Portuguese. Like, what is he?
Come on, bro.
He doesn't talk, bro.
Yeah, he does.
No, he does not.
I've listened to a whole press conference of him.
Yeah, that's when they ask him a question, and these sentences, like in comparison to someone else's sentences, are like
You're just seeing
3
all
words.
the viral clips of him going, huh? That's all you're seeing. That's why you think that. But I've seen a lot of videos of him. He talks.
Not like the other ones.
Well, he's not a talkative
That's
guy.
what I'm trying to
That's for
say.
sure. He's
So
not the
what is he gonna
fucking
learn in English?
talk your
100
ear off.
words?
No, dog. Come on. He's
Third
talking
grade
shit
level
right
of
now. He's
conversation?
talking shit. He needs to learn though. I think he definitely should learn English as a champion. I think he's gonna be there for a little minute. Who's gonna come? Who do you think
No
they're gonna
one.
put up against him?
Well, John Jones should be the next. I think that's the
Well,
only.
John will have to cut down to 205 again.
Yeah, and then stop beating his wife.
I don't think John's going back to 205. I think John's gonna do his stuff at heavyweight and get the fuck out.
Yeah,
I don't see him going back to 205.
and I don't. Well, because technically Pereira can go up because he is 270, bro. Like
270.
yeah, his walking weight is 270.
His fighting weight was at 232 the day of the fight.
Yeah, and he cut to 205. He was 232, and then after the fight and
I
after,
don't believe
like a
his
day after
walking
was
around weight is
270.
270, dog.
He weigh. I think that's what I saw. He
No,
weighed
I don't
himself
think
at
so.
270.
No, 270? Nah, I don't think he's that big. Because bro, if he was walking around 270, he would be fighting at heavyweight. He
I
was
don't
trying
know,
to be
man.
fighting. And they asked Dana White what he thought about him fighting at heavyweight. And he said he basically shut the idea down. That he basically said he thinks he should stay at 205. He's doing good here. Why would he go? Why would he move up?
Yeah. No.
What do you think they're going to be his next challenge though in the 205 division? They were talking about Yuri Prohaska getting his shot again, after just beating Alexander Rakic. Which beating the number 5 guy coming off of a title contender shot makes sense. They might give it to him again.
Who's number 2 right now?
I think.
Besides Jamal, well, number 3 at this point.
Let's take a look. I'm curious about that actually.
Well,
UFC rankings.
but see, here's the thing. I think the 155 and 140, what is it? 40, 42, 43?
145.
145. Those two divisions have the best fighters. I think those are the most entertaining fighters right now.
So you got Yuri Prohaska as the number 1 contender. He just went up. Number 2 is Magomed Ankalaev. Then number 3, Jamal Hill. Number 4, Jan Blachowicz. Number 5, Alexander Rakic. He's still number 5. Number 6, Nikita Krylov. Johnny Walker, Khalil Roundtree. Those guys are in the top 10 still. So you're probably looking at a shot. Maybe they'll have like Jan Blachowicz and Ankalaev run it back again after that draw they had and see who goes for the title again.
Yeah, maybe.
Man, Ankalaev is going to be a bad matchup for Pereira. He's going to wrestle him and take that title right from that motherfucker.
Bro, you think so?
I think so. Especially since I think Jan Blachowicz was able to take down Pereira. What did Ankalaev do to Jan Blachowicz? I'll wrestle him.
Yeah.
In the second half of that fight. The first half, Jan kicked his legs off.
Yeah. And then also, Pereira hasn't really fought anyone that has got good wrestling skills at all.
No, he has. He's fought Jan and Yuri that have some good wrestling skills. But when it comes to...
they're not like wrestling, like Ankalaev wrestling.
That's for sure. And I think he's developed his wrestling really well into just making sure he stays on his feet. Guys like Leon Edwards, great takedown defense. Like Leon has that philosophy of the 2-on-1. Like as long as I have my 2 hands on one of your wrists, you're not taking me down. And that's literally, if you go and watch all his fights, that's how he defends his takedowns. So I think when these guys just kind of find one thing to keep them on their feet and get really fucking good at it, they'll be good against the wrestlers. But I just want to see how it matches up against Ankalaev. I don't know if it'll...
I truly think those fucking post-Soviet Union country wrestlers, they're just different breed, man. They're not the type of wrestlers that we've seen. Like even what's his name? That Edwards fight that he won the championship with a kick against Kumaro. Kumaro is a great wrestler, but I wouldn't say that Kumaro is good. Like Kumaro is good as those, bro. I mean, you saw Olympic champion.
I don't know. That was a pretty close fight between Hamzat and Kumaro.
Yeah, but Hamzat still.
Yeah, it was close though. It was a really close fight. I mean, yeah, you can say he still came out with the W, but it was a really, really.
And Kumaro was people like, oh, he's got one of the best wrestlers. Not really. If Hamzat comes in and.
But you have to look at it in a broad spectrum, Jay. It was a close fight. Kumaro was able to stand up. He even, I think, threatened his own takedowns and things like that. So, Kumaro is one of the top wrestlers in that fucking division.
He is. But I don't know, man. Those Russian guys wrestling, it's just, I
Well,
don't know.
everyone says that, the idea of Dagestani wrestling being the best, and not to say it isn't, because it's proven to be
Yeah,
fucking top tier, and Dagestani say that, but as you're saying, basically USSR countries and as a
yeah.
whole,
Because I mean, look at what's his name, Davishvili.
George from Georgia,
Yeah,
Pyotr Yan from another
Piotr. Well, Piotr
part
Ran is more
in
of a
Russia.
striker.
Well, his wrestling is really good though.
Yeah, he's good, but he's more of a striker. But what's his name? By the way, he puts out some funny ass reels, bro. Have you seen him? The last one he put,
Murab
Murab,
oh
Murab,
yeah, Murab, yeah.
Murab. Like last reel he put, I saw him. He's like running, and then he sees like smoke coming out, and then he goes like this, and then turns into a firefighter, and goes into the house, opens it up, and goes, Sean, what are you doing? And Sean is like
Blazing.
blazing. He's like, Sean, what are you doing? He goes, come on, stop smoking. I need your conditioning because you know I don't finish fights. I need you to go the distance.
Yeah,
I need your conditioning. Stop.
that's hilarious.
Yeah, he
I
puts
saw
out
him
some.
making some videos with Sean.
And
That's good.
Sean even himself commented that he goes, I genuinely load on this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
He
funny.
puts out some funny shit, you know.
Do you have anything else you want to cover for today?
There are couple. I think there were a couple other things. Go down. Oh yeah, go. You can pick that the one up with the dude sleeping all fucking with his panties in a bunch. And I wanted to get your opinion on this.
5 tiny things my husband loathes about our marriage.
So I want to get your opinion on this.
Wait, I want to see it like Miggy says. Mom logic. Okay.
Mom logic.
That's
Okay.
who wrote this article. Bathroom sharing. He seems to take an issue with my hair. Yes, it's long. Yes, it's dark. Yes, he loves to run his fingers through it, but he does not like to see it in his brush, in the sink, on the floor, in the shower. Um, this is one of those things that I think you just have to deal with the fact that they have long hair, you have short hair. All of our hair falls out all the time. People are constantly shedding hair, but yours is short, so it's not noticeable. You know what I mean? Like, what is she gonna do? You want her to fucking be bald? Like,
No, no, yeah, and doesn't clog the mine doesn't clog the. But I think the second part here, uh,
what?
he also does not seem to understand why I need to keep an artillery of products on the counter,
Yes, that's
wasn't ready
something.
for combat
That's
at all
something.
times. Yeah,
I get so pissed when I go into the bathroom when like Emily's finishing up and I just want to take a shower and I don't even have where to put my phone
yeah.
on the fucking counter. Like
All right, so next one,
bed
bed
sharing.
sharing.
According to Adam, he's getting a lot of action in bed and it comes in a variety of ways, whether his covers are getting ripped off or his pillows are getting pulled out from under him. He can always count on me to suddenly arouse him from the deepest sleep. Speaking of getting aroused, when is the best time for to
Intimacy.
initiate intimacy? He recently inquired my answer not when I'm tired, sleeping, writing, doing yoga, having PMS, having my period, ovulating, or feeling fat. It is really not that complicated, is it? Well, you're being complicated, bitch.
Yeah,
uh, nonstop compromise. I don't know. I think that this guy is just getting annoyed at you at this point. Like
yeah.
this is just an add on like that shouldn't even be there, but you're just finding more.
I always have hard time with compromise. Like if it's clearly something that I'm doing that is wrong, then yeah, you need to compromise. But if it's something I don't know, man.
So goddamn, this thing is so sensitive.
Civility during PMS.
What do you want? You want us to be fucking animals? So please stop blaming. He begged when I interviewed this topic. Okay, so granted, I feel bloated, my breasts hurt, I'm tearful, and my clothes don't fit. But Adam would like to set the record straight. He's not responsible for my condition, so please stop blaming me. He begged when I interviewed him on this topic. Just go into isolation and eat your chocolate chips and peanut butter and let me be.
Bro, see here's the problem. There's been numerous studies that say that actual sex relieves all those symptoms. All of them.
Well, they don't feel like it, Jay. So
Yeah.
having to accept the other men in my life. Ever since Adam and I met, I have been passionate. I have been having passionate love affairs. While the name and faces of these men are different, they are universally responsive to my needs and provide me with the unlimited stimulation. You might even say I'm addicted to them. I go to bed dreaming about them and wake up thinking about
You're
them.
talking about kids probably.
Yeah, they are the unsung heroes in my life, the Starbucks baristas who make my non-fat extra soy lattes and ice green tea. Okay, yeah, you just want to fuck other guys. Come on.
Yeah, dude. The Adam needs a divorce, and there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong. Adam, you're a damn simp. Get a goddamn divorce.
Oh shit, that's hilarious.
Adam, you
Um,
damn simp.
I'm sorry, Jay. Okay, no, these are different.
Yeah, these are different. So there were only five things, and you can exit out of this one. And then there was another one with a chick.
I think we did
That
all.
one
No,
right there.
okay.
Ten of life's most powerful paradoxes. Um, the growth paradox. I'm a big fan of Eve Arnold. The other day I was reading her story. Did you know she's been writing 5x a week since
My
2000,
bad, my bad.
5 times a week since 2020? This stunned me. I genuinely feel like she came out of nowhere. Such is the way of growth. Growth takes much longer than you think, but when it happens, it also happens faster than you could ever imagine. This is why consistency is such a vital aspect of growth. You must take regular action to receive constant feedback. This is not go. Okay, go ahead. Keep on. Growth paradox. Okay, I'm not too sure what they're trying to say with this. Trying to make massive changes right off the bat is not sustainable. Effective growth happens gradually, then suddenly. Okay, all right. The persuasion paradox. Arguing is the lowest form of persuasion, and guess what? It hardly works. Have you ever been deep in a heated argument and the person you're arguing with suddenly realizes you're right? Probably not. After a heated argument, you usually walk away and get more frustrated because, for example, my dad had an issue with me leaving the key for the gate in the car when the car wasn't in use. I acknowledge that our car can be stolen, but at first I argued that our comp- compound was extremely secure, blah, blah, blah. My dad's argument was if someone breached the security, which is also possible, they have permanent access to the property until we invest hundreds into changing the locks. Okay. I'm not I don't, I don't understand this article.
I don't either. I really don't. I'm lost.
So I don't know what they're trying to say.
Next one.
Yeah. Yeah, this is dumb. This is really dumb. Click on that one. Yeah, six things. Yeah, there. Now, when you read this, six golden rules that keep our 30-year marriage interesting. It's written by Scott Means. What do you think is going to be? Let's just guess what do you think is going to be and then see if we're right.
See, okay, so let's see if I can think of six things.
No, no, no.
Sex, 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 and sex.
Uh-huh.
Coming from a dude.
I think I think there's going to be a lot of women appeasing.
Look at your past thankfully. Stay in awe of your spouse, the love you share, and the life you have built together, and the good times and tough times. Yeah, I think this is interesting because you should always look back on kind of what has happened in your life and why you should be thankful,
Mhm.
you know? So I think I'm with this one.
Yeah. Even when she pisses you off?
Well, yes, even so when
Okay.
sometimes when she pisses you off about something stupid, you should use these things to help.
Okay. Look at your future expect expectantly. It's great to fondly reflect on the good times of your past, but it is not healthy to fix it on some idealized notion that things would be better if you could somehow go back to how you used to be. Instead, choose to believe that the best is always ahead of you, whether you have been through rough patches. But okay, I don't know, man. I think this is a tough one because guys usually tend not to change in any relationship. Like what you see is what you get, and that's how it is. So I don't know
Look at your spouse selflessly.
if you have a habit of holding your spouse responsible for your happiness. Yeah, this is 100%. Your spouse instead. Well, see, I think for the relationship to work, I think the wife should look at the spouse like that, but not necessarily the spouse, the husband like that at the wife.
I don't even want to know why you think that, Jay. I'll be honest with you.
Because I think um women are naturally a little bit more unhappy, and these things are called for. You know, they're naturally unhappy in relationships, and for them to be in a relationship, they really need to like the guy a little bit more than the guy likes them.
Okay, this is what you think, but like I said, I didn't want to know.
Yeah. Look at at yourself realistically. Um,
Yeah, don't fucking make fantasies. You know, if you start thinking you're the last Coca Cola in the desert, that's not the best thing to do. Also, if you start thinking you have nothing else to learn, these are bad characteristics that will take you onto a dark place.
yeah, but that's you're giving advice for guys more than anything, right?
What do you mean?
Like how would that apply to a girl?
Look at yourself realistically, understand your place.
You plays bitch. Ah! Look at your relationship frequently. Watchfulness keeps you from becoming an excellent roommate. It requires you to keep your eyes and your heart wide awake to all the things going on and around you. Can only ask questions like, "How are we doing?" And is there sometimes more you need from me? Being watchful means keep yourself and your marriage off autopilot. Guard your thoughts about your spouse. Yeah, I agree with that. Cultivate thankfulness and fight against selfish thoughts. Work to eliminate emotional reactivity and cultivate positive emotions like love and compassion. Stay attuned to your physical relationship. I think it's just a bunch of blah blah. Look up continually. This is the last of the six. Bro, your tango, like this, your tango, the more fucking articles we read, the worse they fucking
I don't
get.
know why you keep posting them, Jay.
Because it's just interesting, man, how stupid these fucking articles
I
are.
don't think that's interesting.
No, because see, the thing is that they're giving advice, and there's some people that read this shit and say, you know what, I'm gonna try this.
I think you need to block your tango from your suggested officially. Alrighty, guys. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. That's about all we had to you guys. Sorry for all the
Hey, Emily.
hold up and technical difficulties. Miguel wasn't in with us today, but that's all right. Thank you for guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget about UFC Gym and Vitality. There's links in the description below for you both of those things. Let us. Also, you can just hit one of us up if you're interested.